Good morning. Today, we're going to talk about purpose acts of kindness. We're going to talk about the power of it and the thought process of it. So, I want to just say to you this morning, good morning, and get your mind on being generous today. Get your mind on being thankful today. Get your mind on being kind today. We're going to talk about the difference between random acts of kindness and purpose acts of kindness and the power of living a life where you do things on purpose, where you are proactive and not reactive. So these are the types of things you want to wake up with on a daily basis. You want to put the thoughts in your mind that you want to have. When I speak to business leaders and I speak to lawyers and doctors, and I do it on a regular basis, whether I'm working with them with the culture of their company or whether I'm working with them on their own personal goals and visions and missions and core values, the different things that I work with people on, I have to remind them that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. How you think is really who you are. And so most people don't really realize that you get to think about what you want to think. You get to choose what you're thinking about. And I always try to take that even to a higher level, which is I don't only want to think about what I'm thinking about. I want to think about how I'm thinking about it, why I'm thinking about it, right? And I even want to take it to the place where I'm thinking, when am I thinking about these things? So that the when question really comes into prioritization. Am I thinking about this at the top of my day? Am I thinking about this the most productive part of my day? And so when I think about acts of kindness and doing acts of kindness on purpose, I think about the people in my life. I think about the people in my life who are important to me. Well, I mean, everybody in my life is important, but there are people who, my daughter, my grandson, my beautiful wife. These people are uh, the most important people in my immediate sphere. My dad, my mom, my brothers and sisters, all these things. And I think about these things. So I think about the people in my church. I think about what they're going through right now. I have one of our chief or our core members in our church who is taking care of her mom in the hospital. I went to visit her yesterday. That would be a purposed act of kindness. But to make that truly an act of kindness, you don't just go and show up. That would be one level of kindness. Then you purpose add some kindness to it. And so you say something to them in the middle of doing the right thing or doing the minimum, really. You say, now how else may I serve you? How can I lighten your load? Because in that case, she's dealing with taking care of her mom, trying to balance her time away from work, trying to balance her sleep schedule, her food schedule, her getting the right amount of water, all these things you want to think about when you're thinking about purposed acts of kindness. And what this does for you, this is where I want you to really begin to receive the benefit of this. Is what this does for you, it changes your mindset. It helps you to understand how impactful you could be. You don't have to be wealthy to be impactful. You helps because you can magnify your acts of kindness, but at the same time, all of us can purpose to think about other people with kindness on our heart, with love on our heart, generosity on our heart. But then we think about it not just in a sense of, throwing a token at that situation or at that person. We don't want to just kind of pretend to be kind. We want to be more than just superficially kind. We want to be doing the kinds of purpose acts of kindness that actually lighten the load for the person that we are being kind to. Scripture talks about carrying one another's burdens. So when we look at someone, a lot of times what we have a tendency to do, and we look at people uh, with a with kind of a jaundiced eye, with a critical eye, with a skeptical eye, and we find fault. But I want you to start seeing people through the lens of acts of kindness, purposed acts of kindness, where you actually are thinking, what is their burden? What is their heaviness? What could I help to lift? And how can I help to truly lift that on their behalf? And so this becomes mindset, a kindness mindset, thankful mindset, a generous mindset, which the more you discipline yourself to do it, the the bigger that muscle in you becomes, the kindness muscle. None of these things get powerful until you start to purposely work them. When I used to work out and I had a trainer in my early days playing ball in college, I would do the exercises, whether it was a clean or a bench press or squat, a big exercise that we did, or I would work my forearms or my neck. And my coaches would always say to me, okay, focus on that muscle. Think about the muscle that you're training. Think about it. Purpose, feel the blood flow into that muscle, feel the as you would fatigue that muscle, feel the strength of it. Really actually put your mind in. Don't let your mind be somewhere else. Be somewhere else. And great trainers, they talk about what are you thinking about? Whether you're singing, if you're singing, they would say to you, you work on the music. Don't think about the note. Think about your breath. Think about your posture. Focus on the flow of the sound, the beauty of the process, beauty of the flow of that breath. Make sure that breath, and you would imagine it moving not just in your lungs or in your chest or in your throat or your mouth or even your face. You would be thinking of it all the way from the bottom of your and you would be flowing, even though you and I both know the air doesn't flow from the bottom of your feet. The idea is to purpose, to make it bigger, to make it smoother, to make it calmer. So this is where you want to be thinking about the act of purposing anything, purposing your kindness. So when I wake up with these thoughts in my mind, like, what kind things can I do today? Who in my life is having uh, a lot of challenges, or who in my life is endeavoring to serve people on a large scale. One of the people in my life is a pastor in Cuba, and he is got a church in Santa Clara, but he also has a church in Placitas, a church in Camagüey, and churches throughout the nation. His dream and his vision is to have a network of churches throughout the entire island and to have pastors on payroll, on salary, so that we can not only have the gospel preached throughout the whole island of Cuba, which at one time and even to this day is discouraged by the government, but also to have a food distribution system in place. And we have that now in the smaller network, but we're envisioning a larger network. We're envisioning 100 pastors on payroll on a monthly basis, making more than a doctor makes in that nation, so that they not only have uh, they not only have money that sustains their life and their family's life, but they have overflow money that they can distribute to other people in their congregation. So they can use some of that money to purchase food or fuel or whatever it is that they have an immediate need. So the the viewpoint, the perspective, the proactiveness of this mindset begins to look for people who are kind, people who are generous, people who serve others, and then you begin to magnify your giving, your kindness, your generosity, and you start to learn. You start to learn, yes, I can be kind to this person who may be a drug addict or who may struggle with an addiction of some kind, but more than likely, they're not going to immediately pay that forward. And that's okay to do. It's powerful. You may change a life that way, and that's really wonderful. But you're not going to change a life that way with a one-time $20, you know, gift or a one-time, hey, how you doing? Let me encourage you. Let me give you a hug. that will require real consistency. And that's true about purpose acts of kindness. You have to know this because once you enter into a relationship, kindness relationship, it's going to be something that's going to require consistency. It's going to require faithfulness. It's going to require an improvement, a development of that relationship, and that's where the power begins. And then that person who receives that act of kindness, that purpose act of kindness, we're using this pastor in Cuba now. Once they've received it on a consistent basis, they begin to trust it and they begin to confidently distribute, pay it forward. So the idea is for you to begin to do these acts of kindness. Think about these things. Start small in your immediate sphere and watch your eyesight, your spiritual eyes begin to change, because what will happen is you'll begin to see things differently. You won't see fault or survivor kind of instincts where, oh no, that could hurt me. Oh no, that's a good thing. Oh no, that's a bad thing. You want to see more like, who is serving, who is helping, who is doing these things. Like a lot of times I think about investments. I want to invest money here because I want to make money, but you also want to invest money because you want to do good. You want to impact society for good. You want to make a difference, so one of the things I do as acts of kindness is I work with a powerful leader in the area of intellectual property. I help her with every aspect of her life, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, which includes her family and every aspect, and then financially as well, by bringing resources to her. Because one, what's happened is her company now is global. Her company now is impacting through the university system. And so what it does, once you start purposing your acts of kindness, your impact begins to grow. Your eyesight begins to improve. You begin to see things differently. You begin to see things strategic. Your curiosity about life begins to change, because now you're not just looking for, the mundane, or looking for the entertaining. You're looking for the impact. You're looking for what I can do to really, really make a difference. And you begin to see that you actually can make. So I'm going to encourage you today to just start small. Just start in your immediate sphere and begin to look around for people who are helpers, people who are doing the right in terms of kindness, and then begin to support them in any way that you can, either through encouragement, prayer, do it through just being there, knowing that, one of the things I say all the time is no good deed goes unpunished. So a lot of times do-gooders get punched in the face when they're trying to do the right thing, or they do the right thing and they don't, and the person doesn't appreciate it, or feels like, the giver has an ulterior motive trying to get something back in return. And so there's a lot of dynamics that goes into the proper way to serve, proper way to be kind, proper way to give. Because you never want to be kind with a tit for tat, and you never want to be kind condescendingly. You don't ever want to make a person feel bad through your kindness. And there's a longer teaching in this. You can get these teachings. I've written a lot about this topic. Get these teachings by reaching out to us and just asking for our Deeper Life Toolkit. You can ask for these different concepts as we begin to move into a deeper and deeper relationship. I want to encourage you now to reach out. Reach out. I'm going to be going to Cuba this month. I just got back from the parchment prison systems. I am on a hunt for people who are really living their lives to make a difference in the lives of other people. I want to find people that I can magnify my giving through by supporting them. So I find that I've got some great people in our prayer groups at church. I've got great people who are traveling to Trinidad, who are walking the streets of Riverdale, who are doing just amazing things. And every time I see them, I think to myself, how may I serve them? How may I magnify my dollar? How may I magnify my love? How may I magnify my kindness? And I want you to feel what that feels like, because it opens your eyes. It really does. It opens your ears, and it cleans your mind from guilt or shame or condemnation. cleans your mind from judging other people and blame. It just begins to turn you into a really powerful, impactful person, and a person that has a thought life that is peaceful, a thought life that is satisfied in a way because you're actually, you're making a difference. So thanks for tuning in to Morning Motivations with Dan Stratton. This is a topic that I love. This is a topic that I could talk about for another 45 minutes at least, but I'm going to tune out for now. Maybe I'll hit it again next week. Please comment back. Please let us know you're out there. Let us know what's going on. We have a great program. You can get involved in this. Join the company of Purpose Acts of Kindness. Join the company of those people who are doing things on purpose to be a blessing. Join the company of the blessed. Join the company of those that are at rest. Thank you for tuning in today. Dan Stratton, Morning Motivations.